Hey guys, wobble wobble wobble. This is yours truly, the Big J and J. Thank you for joining me on Adrian J Online. I have a wobbly camera because I'm in my bedroom and it's on the bed. Um, this is for my diabetes part of the channel, and this is a little section I like to call "You Can't Eat Chocolate Cake." Can you?
Oh,
So let's
yeah.
go back to how, and this is the guidance I was given, how, with the food and carb contents. I was told that you should aim for 10 grams of carbs per 100 grams. In other words, 10%. 10% of that food should be made up of a carb. That doesn't necessarily mean it's healthier, because it could be fat. But generally, and we're talking about carbs here, it should only be 10%. Now, if you say, for example, have 50%, that means half of that food you're eating is sugar. This is sugar, this is the rest. So what happens to your blood sugar? Your blood sugar will spike, right? So that's not good. So let's say Adrian's made his famous chocolate cake. This is Adrian's chocolate cake. Okay, now, let's just say, for argument's sake, that my chocolate cake, half of it is 50 grams per 100. All right? Now, if I was to eat both sides of that cake, I would consume 100 grams. No, sorry. If I was to eat the whole cake, this is a 100-gram cake, I would eat 50 grams. Okay? Which is probably not good for me. But if I ate half of that cake, it wouldn't be 50 grams, would it? You know maths. 25 grams. Supposing I only took a quarter of the cake, now that's 12.5 grams. Now, remember what I said, you've got your meal allowance, let's say 65 grams per 100. Sorry, 65 grams, right? So if I eat 12.5 grams of dessert, then the rest, I can have my pasta, I can have a drink, I can have fries. Okay? So yes, you can eat a cake, but don't eat the whole thing, right? Work out what it is. And this is one of the banes of people's lives, is working out how much carbs they can eat. Okay? It's very, very difficult, but if you're looking at sandwiches, okay? If you look on the back, they have to have the ingredients. So they may say the one sandwich, oops, I can't spell. One sarnie, I put one sarnie. One sarnie is 200 grams, right? That sandwich, it will probably say something like, say, 50 grams per sandwich, because there's like maybe two sandwiches. So if you got two sandwiches, okay, don't eat that one, leave it for later. So you've got 50 grams, okay? And so yeah, so what I would say to you, and I hope you've kind of picked that up from what I'm saying, is basically you can. So I hope you kind of understood that. So basically, you can eat what you want within reason. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and eat a whole chocolate cake or quarter of a chocolate cake. Oh, another thing I wanted to tell you, to just reminded me, is trying to stick to numbers. It's very difficult. Don't let anyone tell you it's otherwise. Mentally, if we're in a bad mood, we want to have a drink, we want to have a cake, we want to have chocolate, right? Or whatever it is, and we want to have it. Now, if you're supposed to have, say, for example, 65 grams per meal, don't chase those figures, right? There's a saying, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. So if you look after the small things, do very, very small changes, the overall effect. This is the thing with diabetes that people don't understand. It's little changes. Don't go out and buy sneakers and do a 3 mile walk. You'll kill yourself. Go around the block, build up bit by bit. You have to have your medications. If you're on good medications, this works out. If you're on bad medications, this doesn't. So, try and do things bit by bit. Make small changes. If you want a McDonald's, go out and get a McDonald's. Look at the instructions in the nutrition and work out how much you can eat. You may be able to eat a small handful of fries or a quarter of a burger, right? So work it out bit by bit. And generally, you're looking for the long run, what your figures are like for the day. And if you say, for example, with diabetes, with diabetics, they're very much like alcoholics. And you may have heard the term falling off the wagon. So that's when an alcoholic is not allowed to drink anymore. They could actually die because alcohol is a poison to them. And they, what's known as fall off the wagon. And then they have a drink. They can't help it. We are pretty much the same. We'll see a chocolate cake. We've had a hard day. We just want to eat it. And we fall off the wagon. What's the first thing we do? Well, if you're actually smart, you'll go, do you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on my bike and go for a cycle. Or the other thing is you can say, well, sod it. I made a mistake. I fell off the wagon. That's it. And learn not to be guilty. Do not feel guilty because you end up chasing your meter. You end up doing a whole load of stupid things and you end up following bad advice and you are going to be screwed. Trust me on that. So here's what I would say. If you're on, say, 65 grams per meal and one day you have 100, then maybe the second or the third meal, let's say you have a really, very big breakfast. Cut down the carbs for the snack. Don't stop the snacks. Cut down the snack, cut down the meal, and that will kind of work itself out. As long as you're doing it, and even I would say don't even worry about it. Honestly, if you go out with the guys lunchtime and you have a beer and a creme brulee or whatever, your blood sugar is going to shoot. Well, it does. It happens. Don't worry about it. Just honestly, don't worry about it. As long as it's once in a while it's happening, it's okay. I was also taught that on a week, 7 days, take one day as your slack off day. Okay, we'd like to slack off not having injections and not taking meds and that kind of stuff. I'm not telling you not to do that, but like once a day, like aim for something. So like Monday through to Friday or Monday through to Thursday, you're going to go, right, I'm going to be really good. I'm going to be really on top of my diet. Friday, I'm going to go out with the guys to TGI Friday and I'm going to have something a little bit, and then what you'll find is you won't really have that need to get smashed or have loads and loads of puddings or whatever. And so it really depends. But I would say just don't worry about it. And the biggest thing to take back I would give for the guys who posted those messages is, if you want to make pasta, and I love pasta. If you've seen my other channels with cooking, I love to cook. But if you want to have pasta, if you want to have cannelloni or risotto or fungini or any kind of pasta, spaghetti meatballs, anyone? Mac and cheese? Okay, mac and cheese is Italian, but you know what I'm saying. Then go ahead and eat it. Have a small portion. Work out what the portion size you should have. And if you decide to have a little bit more, go ahead. I won't tell anyone. And you'll be all right. So, hope you found this informative. Like I said, this is not medical advice. This is what I've learned over 15 years of being a diabetic. This is what applies to me. And generally, what applies to me isn't necessarily incorrect for other people. But please do check with 3 people in your life. You should have 4 people in your life. No, let me rephrase that. You should have 5 people in your life. First and foremost, you need to have a good doctor who understands diabetes. You need to have a DSN, as a diabetic specialist nurse. You need to have a dietitian. Find a really good dietitian and make sure you give them nice snacks for Christmas. And you need to also have, hang on a sec, what did we say? A doctor, a DSN, an endocrinologist. You need a good endocrinologist, and you need an understanding partner as well. All right. So from yours truly, the Big J and J saying peace out, Unity I, and smash that like button. There's a like button here. Smash it. My channel isn't monetized. I get no money for doing this. So smash the like button, please. Subscribe if you thought this was good and informative. Please let other people know about the channel. We can circulate more information and disinformation. We can help a lot of people. And also, as it's coming near Christmas, have a very Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy your Christmas lunch. I certainly am. I'm planning on beef Wellington. Beefy Wellington with roast potatoes and turnips and probably some cake. And I'm planning on getting absolutely smashed out of my brain, at least one day. So take it easy. Bye for now. We out of here.
Oh, yes, Daddy.